Do the superior speed and lightning-fast attacks of big cats always guarantee a successful hunt? On open grasslands, they often gain the upper hand from the very first seconds. But prey doesn't always flee in desperation. A sudden change of direction, a fierce counterattack, or a small mistake by the predator can instantly reverse the entire advantage. On the dry, low-lying ground, the adult rhino moves slowly, constantly observing any movement around its territory. The rhino has a very high level of vigilance. Although its eyesight isn't great, its sense of smell and hearing allow it to detect danger from afar when the lion begins to approach. While the rhino maintains a steady movement across the open ground, the lion silently moves through the low grass, seeking an approach point from the side to begin closing in. The lion tries to accelerate to close the distance before suddenly lunging forward to put pressure on the rhino. Just as the lion lunges to close the gap, the rhino immediately turns and rams directly at the lion to block its approach. The rhino's counterattack quickly dislodges the lion from its attacking position, forcing it to leave the area, ending the hunt as the lion can no longer close in on the rhino. In the wide grasslands with many low bushes, the mother wildebeest moves close to her cubs, constantly observing their surroundings. Wildebeests have a very strong survival instinct, remaining vigilant even while feeding or moving with the pack before the leopard begins to appear near the area, the eye. When the cub slightly separates from the pack's direction of movement, the leopard silently hides in the low grass and watches its target's every move to begin its approach. The leopard waits until it is close enough, then suddenly accelerates, lunging from the side to pull the cub away from the pack's direction of movement. As soon as the leopard closes the distance, the mother wildebeest immediately turns and lunges forward to block the attack. The quick reaction of the mother wildebeest causes the leopard to lose its close-range position and retreat from the dangerous area, ending the hunt as it can no longer attack the cub. Along the low-lying vegetation near the dry land, adult giraffes moved slowly in small groups, constantly monitoring any changes in the area. Giraffes usually kept a safe distance from other individuals to detect danger early, so the group maintained a stable direction of movement, even when unusual movements began to appear around the herd. As the giraffes crossed the clearing between the bushes, the lion kept its body low and circled around to the side, looking for an opportunity to approach. The lion continuously adjusted its direction, accelerating and lunging forward to put pressure on the giraffe's legs, quickly closing the distance between them. the moment the lion pulled ahead to maintain the pursuit pressure. The giraffe immediately spun its body sharply and delivered a straight kick backward to block the attack. The giraffe's counterattack completely cost the lion its advantage in the chase, forcing it to leave the dangerous area and ending the hunt as the giraffe maintained a safe distance. Wildebeests are wildebeests with heavy bodies and the ability to maintain a steady speed over long distances. During migration, the entire herd constantly moves across open grasslands, so the synchronized formation helps wildebeest maintain a safe distance when unusual movements begin to appear behind the herd. When young wildebeest begin to slightly deviate from the herd's direction, the cheetah keeps its body low and quickly closes the gap across the open ground to find a moment to accelerate. The cheetah suddenly charges forward to cut off the wildebeest's escape, causing the distance between the two to quickly narrow in the first few seconds. Just as the cheetah pulls ahead to maintain its speed advantage, the wildebeest immediately turns sharply and charges straight ahead to disrupt the pursuit. The unexpected reaction from the wildebeest causes the cheetah to lose its acceleration and force it to stop the hunt. The chase quickly ended as the wildebeest maintained a safe distance across the open grassland. On open pastures, adult buffaloes move close to the herd, constantly observing any movements around them. Buffaloes have a very strong instinct to protect their young, so adult individuals often turn to confront predators instead of fleeing completely. While the buffalo herd maintains close formation, the lion silently moves slowly, finding gaps at the edge of the herd to begin its approach. The lion attempts to approach from the flank to put pressure on the individual standing near the edge of the formation. When the lion suddenly accelerates and tries to maintain its close position on the buffalo's side, the buffalo immediately turns and charges forward to block the attack. After the buffalo's counterattack, the lion quickly loses its close position and is forced to retreat from the front. The hunt ends when the lion is forced to leave the area because the buffalo herd maintains a stable defense. On open pastures, the buffalo's ability to maintain formation demonstrates how collective strength can completely change the course of a hunt. On the edge of the low grass near the burrow, the warthog constantly raised its head to observe before continuing its movement. Warthogs have a very high level of vigilance in grasslands and often detect danger from afar when unusual movements appear near the area. As the warthog continued to move along the open ground near the low bushes, the leopard silently hid in the low grass and followed its movement to begin its approach. The leopard didn't rush out too early, waiting until the distance was close enough before accelerating and lunging from the side to maintain an attacking position. As soon as the leopard lunged to close the distance, the warthog immediately lowered its front body, turned its head to face it, and used its curved tusks to block the approach. The counterattack from the warthog quickly caused the leopard to lose its attacking position and retreat to avoid danger. Having lost its advantage in closing the distance, the leopard was forced to leave the area and give up its chance to hunt the adult warthog. This confrontation showed how quickly the leopard's ambush advantage vanished as the warthog maintained its distance and was ready to counterattack directly. In the open grasslands, adult zebras constantly move around the young, monitoring any changes occurring within the pack. Zebras possess a strong pack instinct, maintaining a stable formation to protect each other when danger arises along their path. When a young zebra slows down and deviates from the pack's direction, the lion slows down and lowers its front body to find an opportunity to approach. The lion waits for the right moment, then suddenly accelerates and lunges forward, attempting to pull the young zebra away from the pack's protection. The moment the lion lunges to secure its position, the adult zebra quickly spins its body and delivers a powerful kick to block the attack. This unexpected counterattack causes the lion to lose momentum and retreat from the danger zone, ending the confrontation with the zebra pack keeping its young in the center of the pack. In the open grassland, the antelope constantly maintains a distance from the herd. Watching for any small movements around the bush, antelopes are highly alert, so even the slightest unusual sound is enough to trigger a near instantaneous reaction from the entire herd before the cheetahs begin to approach. When an antelope lags behind at the edge of the herd, the female cheetah lowers her body and silently closes the distance through the low grass, looking for an opportune moment to accelerate. The cheetah suddenly lunges from the side, cutting off the antelope's escape route and quickly closing the gap. Just as the cheetah closes in to gain the advantage, the antelope immediately turns to face it and uses her horns to block the attack. The unexpected reaction from the antelope causes the cheetah to quickly lose momentum and stop the hunt, ending the confrontation while the antelope maintains a safe distance. From surprise ambushes to fierce counterattacks, many prey species have demonstrated that the initial advantage of a predator doesn't always last. On the savanna, the difference is often decided in a split second, when speed, reflexes, and adaptability all come into play. And it is these moments of reversal that create the unique balance of the wild world. In arid regions, wild dogs maintain a hunting strategy based on coordination and spatial control from a distance. They constantly adjust their position, force their prey to move, and launch short bursts of attacks to disrupt their reaction time. The following sequence of events documents the approach: closing in and control as wild dogs execute attacks in various environments. On savanna grasslands, woodlands, and riverside areas, buffalo move in herds and depend on a stable water source. They can live from wide plains to dense shrublands, well adapted to hot and dry climates. Their thick, curved horns, high endurance, and ability to maintain movement for extended periods help buffalo keep their distance and be ready to confront, providing a foundation for continuous observation and maintaining a stable formation against any threat. A group of wild dogs keeps their bodies low and follows at the edge of the herd, minimizing attention and maintaining an initial distance. They spread out to force the direction of movement, while other individuals approach in short bursts to avoid direct confrontation. When the distance is reduced, wild dogs approach from multiple directions and maintain constant pressure, gradually tightening the space and shifting the situation to close quarters combat. When the pressure increases significantly, an individual at the edge separates from the herd and loses its position in the defensive formation. The wild dogs immediately took positions from multiple sides, isolating the individual and controlling its direction of movement, further closing the distance. The process ended with the wild dogs gaining control of the individual that had broken away from the herd, while the rest of the buffalo herd maintained formation and moved away from the area. In arid lands, oryx constantly observe as they move and forage, setting the stage for early reaction. They detect predators from afar and quickly signal to maintain formation and steady direction. Their sharp horns, quick reflexes, and high stamina help oryx maintain distance and prepare for confrontation. Soon after, a group of wild dogs begins to close the distance in the direction of the oryx's movement. Some individuals spread out to force their way, while others approach in short bursts to maintain pressure. As the distance continues to narrow, the wild dogs close in and attempt to approach from multiple directions, leading to a direct confrontation. When the distance can no longer be maintained, the oryx turns back to its opposite position and points its horns forward to control the space. The wild dogs cannot maintain close proximity and begin to reduce pressure to avoid a direct collision. The hunt ends when the oryx secures a gap and leaves the area, while the wild dog stops hunting and changes direction. On the edge of savannas and in rocky, tall-treed areas, baboons live in groups and choose high vantage points to rest and observe, maintaining a visual advantage. They are adapted to the hot climate, traveling long distances for water and food, and maintaining vigilance through vocal and behavioral signals, setting the stage for an early response. Their strong jaws with long canine teeth, powerful arms, and excellent running and climbing abilities help baboons maintain their position and prepare for confrontation. From that point, a group of wild dogs keeps their bodies low and follows from beneath the grass, avoiding attracting attention and maintaining distance. Some spread out to force their way, while others approach in short bursts, avoiding direct confrontation with the adult male, further tightening the space. When the distance is reduced, the wild dogs approach from multiple directions and maintain pressure, escalating the situation to a more tense level. When pressure increases significantly, baboons signal and maintain formation. Males standing at the front, while cubs and females move to higher positions. During the forced movement, an individual at the edge separates from the guarding group, and a gap appears for a short time. The process ends with wild dogs taking up positions from multiple sides, isolating the weaker individual and gaining control. In the open savanna environment, antelopes maintain pack activity and adapt to various conditions. Antelopes are a group of hoofed animals living primarily in Africa and parts of Asia, with high adaptability and the ability to maintain stable formations. An individual feeding continuously monitors its surroundings and is ready to signal when danger is detected. As soon as a change is detected, a group of wild dogs begins to close the distance in the direction of the pack's movement and maintains close contact. At that point, another group of wild dogs moves up to close behind, touching the pack's path and forcing it to change direction. Another group moves forward to block the way and force the pack to constantly change direction. When the formation begins to shift, an individual antelope gradually loses its advantage and separates from the general direction of movement. Wild dogs maintain positions from multiple sides and maintain a continuous encirclement. Antelope tried to change direction, but couldn't maintain the distance. The wild dog took control and ended the hunt. On dry, low-lying ground, warthogs move slowly, constantly observing their surroundings before entering open areas, maintaining vigilance. Warthogs have very keen survival instincts and often quickly retreat to their burrows when they detect danger nearby. From that state, a group of wild dogs begins to spread out instead of approaching directly, maintaining distance from behind and forcing the warthog to turn defensively, maintaining pressure. Some individuals follow closely from behind, while others circle to the sides to force the warthog to constantly turn defensively, continuing to squeeze the space. When the distance is shortened, the wild dogs increase pressure and look for a moment to cut across the warthog's path. When the pressure increases significantly, the warthog reacts with direct butts but cannot maintain a stable direction, changing the course of the battle. The wild dogs quickly change direction and continue to squeeze the space from multiple sides, maintaining control. The story ends with the wild dog gaining control and completing the hunt, bringing the events to a close. In the vast savanna, hyenas observe their surroundings for weak or isolated individuals. They often coordinate in groups and maintain distance to control the situation. Their strong jaws, high endurance, and ability to travel long distances allow hyenas to maintain position and be ready for confrontation. thus enabling predators to begin approaching in their direction of movement. Soon after, a group of wild dogs, keeping low on the ground, begin to follow the hyena's movement. Some individuals approach from the sides, while others approach from behind to create constant pressure. As the distance narrows, the wild dogs advance step by step, maintaining their approach from multiple directions. As the pressure increases, the hyena continuously rotates its body to maintain its facing direction and not expose its rear. The wild dogs cannot maintain a safe distance to approach and begin to reduce pressure to avoid a direct collision. The hunt ends when the hyena holds its position and leaves the area, while the wild dog stops hunting and changes direction. At the edges of rivers and swamps, crocodiles maintain ambush positions and remain almost motionless for extended periods, maintaining a stable position. Their bodies are low to the water's surface, only their eyes and nostrils visible for observation and breathing, maintaining constant tracking. Their strong jaws and rapid acceleration over short distances allow crocodiles to control the situation when prey enters their range. After a long journey, the wild dog pack approaches the water's edge and slows down to observe the surface before approaching. One individual gets closer, keeping its head low and monitoring every small movement on the water's surface, further closing the distance. When the distance is reduced, the crocodile emerges from the water, directly approaching and dragging the individual at the edge underwater. When the situation shifts to the water, one wild dog loses contact while held underwater, altering the formation. The remaining individuals emit audible signals and retreat from the danger zone, maintaining a safe distance. The fight ended with the crocodile taking control, and the wild dogs retreating to avoid further contact. On vast grasslands and savannas, lions live in packs and maintain territorial control, providing a vantage point for observation from a distance. They are adapted to hot climates and often track movement across open terrain, maintaining early detection capabilities. Their large size, powerful physique, and ability to close the distance give lions an advantage in confrontations. As soon as the distance is reduced, a group of wild dogs moves into the area and begins observing the lion's movement, maintaining their initial distance. Some individuals hold positions in front, while others circle around to the sides and rear to create pressure, further narrowing the space. As the distance shortens, the wild dogs approach step by step, but the lion suddenly accelerates and charges directly into the formation, breaking the close-range engagement. Once the formation is broken, the wild dogs cannot maintain their position and quickly retreat from the area, reducing the pressure of the confrontation. The lion takes the center position and re-establishes territorial control, maintaining a stable space. The battle ends when the lion maintains control, and the wild dog retreats and leaves the area to avoid further approach. In many riverside areas of Africa, calm waters often conceal one of nature's most dangerous ambushers. Crocodiles don't need to chase far. They silently wait for prey to come within striking distance of the water's edge. From unexpected dives in murky water, many confrontations quickly change when the prey loses its initial advantage. After detecting the scent of carcasses near the riverbank, hyena slowly moved into the shallow water, constantly observing its surroundings. Hyena possesses a tenacious survival instinct, always paying attention to unusual movements and the reactions of other predators in the area. Its strong jaws give hyena an advantage when competing for food on land, but the water ahead is gradually becoming more dangerous. In the dark water near the shore, Crocodile remained almost still, waiting for hyena to enter its ambush. Crocodile suddenly lunged out of the water to block hyena's path. The unexpected lunge caused hyena to lose its balance, forcing it to spin sharply and quickly retreat from the shallow water. Hyena immediately left the water's edge and continued observing the area from the dry land behind it. Crocodile maintained its advantage in the murky water and remained still, waiting for another opportunity to approach. The standoff ended when hyena changed its approach, while Crocodile continued to wait for another opportunity underwater. On their way to the main river, the wildebeest herd maintains close proximity to each other to detect danger from afar. Wildebeests have keen hearing and smell. A single individual's reaction immediately alerts the entire herd or redirects them. Their endurance and ability to run long distances give wildebeests an advantage on land, while the rest of the herd begins to move into the water ahead. Beneath the murky water of the crossing area, crocodiles lie still, waiting for a wildebeest to lose its rhythm while crossing the river. Crocodiles hide underwater and suddenly lunge straight up into the middle of the river when prey gets too close. The unexpected lunge from the crocodile causes a wildebeest to lose its balance and immediately separate from the herd. The wildebeest herd quickly moves away from the water's edge as the water begins to churn in the crossing area. However, the individual separated from the group was unable to rejoin the group as the crocodile remained still in the shallow water. The confrontation ended when the crocodile secured its target, while the wildebeest group was forced to move away from the danger zone. At the riverbank during the dry season, the impala herd slowly descends to drink water, constantly observing their surroundings. Impalas possess a highly sensitive survival instinct, remaining vigilant even while grazing or resting. Their speed and jumping ability allow them to escape danger on land, but this is when the water's edge becomes more perilous. Beneath the murky water near the bank, the crocodile lies still, sensing vibrations as the impala approaches to drink. The crocodile waits for the right moment, then suddenly lunges up from beneath the water to attack the impala at the riverbank. The crocodile's swift lunge leaves the impala no time to change direction and pulls it away from its safe position on the bank. The impala herd immediately panics, separating from the drinking area and running quickly towards dry land. The attacked impala cannot resist the crocodile's pulling force in the murky water. The confrontation ended when the crocodile successfully attacked, and the impala herd moved away from the riverbank to avoid danger. Lions are Africa's top predators, adapted to areas near open grasslands and water sources, where they move in herds and control vast territories. However, this advantage diminishes significantly near the water's edge. Their strength comes from physical prowess and social coordination, along with powerful jaws that allow them to grip prey, constrict the throat for suffocation, and tear flesh effectively. At the boundary between land and water, every movement becomes more difficult to control. At that boundary, in a murky section of the river, as the lion crossed the shallow area to reach the bank, a crocodile, hidden underwater, was almost imperceptible. It remained low-lying, waiting for the lion to come within close enough before suddenly pouncing, creating direct pressure in the confined space. This moment forced the lion to change direction immediately and switch to a defensive posture. Immediately after the pounce, the lion retreated and attempted to move away from the water's edge, but lost its advantage in speed and directional control on the slippery mud. Crocodile continued to press for the first few seconds, preventing lion from maintaining the initiative and forcing him to prioritize escaping the area. Unable to maintain a safe distance, lion retreated and ended the situation in defeat. Near the edge of the muddy water, leopard lowered its body and slowly approached while constantly observing. Leopard had quick reflexes and agile movement on hard ground, but the soft mud ahead began to slow its pace. The moment leopard's foot sank deep into the soft mud, crocodile immediately accelerated from beneath the murky water. Crocodile lunged diagonally out of the water and slammed into leopard's lower body. Leopard spun sharply to maintain balance and tried to retreat from the water's edge. Recognizing the unfavorable terrain, leopard proactively retreated from the muddy area. Meanwhile, crocodile also stopped approaching as the distance widened from the controlled water. The confrontation ended when leopard left the dangerous area, while crocodile remained still beneath the murky water. In the shallow waters where the hippo colony usually rests, adult hippos are always watching for any movement around them. Hippos have a very strong instinct to protect their territory and young. They become alert at the slightest unusual sound or vibration in the water. Their long fangs and heavy bodies give them a clear advantage. But underwater, crocodiles are also beginning to approach. In the calm water near where the hippo colony is gathered, the crocodile lies still and slowly closes the distance. The crocodile waits until it's close enough, then suddenly lunges forward, right up to the head of the hippo, creating pressure. The unexpected lunge from the crocodile stirs the water violently, forcing the hippo to immediately change direction to maintain a safe distance. As the adult hippo advances with strong movements in the water, the crocodile loses its ambush advantage. Crocodiles began to retreat from the shallow water area, while hippopotamus continued to maintain its position near the school to prevent its rival from advancing further. The confrontation ended when crocodiles withdrew, and hippopotamus continued to defend the area around the school thanks to its quick reaction and defensive strength. On the soft, muddy riverbank, the buffalo herd advanced into the water, maintaining close formation. Buffaloes possess a strong survival instinct, reacting quickly to movement, sounds, and unfamiliar smells around them. Their heavy bodies, thick necks, and strong horns give them an advantage on solid ground. But as they get closer to the water's edge, that advantage begins to diminish. The crocodile lies still, waiting for a buffalo to stray from the herd's safe position. Suddenly, the crocodile lunges forcefully from the water's surface, drawing the confrontation into shallow water. The powerful lunge from the crocodile splashes water, forcing the buffalo to brace itself at the river's edge. The buffalo herd quickly shifts formation, moving closer to protect the attacked individual. When many adult buffaloes gathered at the water's edge, the crocodile lost its advantage in accessing the area. The confrontation ended when the buffaloes left the riverside area, and the crocodile retreated into the murky water to wait for another opportunity. On dry land near the riverbank, a pack of wild dogs moved in a wide formation after a long chase. Wild dogs have very keen hunting instincts, often observing quickly and coordinating as a pack to surround their target on the grassland. Speed, endurance, and pack discipline give wild dogs an advantage on land. But as they get closer to the water's edge, the formation begins to split. Under the water near the shore, a crocodile lies still and waits for a wild dog to stray from the group behind. Suddenly, the crocodile lunges out of the water to block the wild dog's retreat, right at the river's edge. The crocodile's swift lunge causes one wild dog to slip off the bank, forcing the entire pack to immediately disperse to avoid the shallow water. The pack of wild dogs quickly regroups, emitting short signals and moving around the water's edge to create pressure. That collective reaction prevented the crocodile from advancing further into the dry bank ahead. The The confrontation ended when the wild dog left the river's edge, and the crocodile returned to the murky water, their hunting rhythm disrupted. On the vast grasslands of Africa and amidst the dense forests, many animal species constantly face unexpected attacks in order to survive. Some predators succeed through patience and strategy, while others survive thanks to their defensive instincts and the ability to react at the right moment. In the wild, every confrontation happens quickly, but the outcome can completely change the fate of the prey. On their migration route across the African savanna, herds of wildebeest continue their journey in search of fresh grass and water. They can travel long distances seasonally, and their survival instincts compel them to cross rivers despite the danger. In large herds, the young often stay close to their mothers to avoid being separated. But as the herd changes direction near low bushes, a small gap begins to appear. From behind the bushes, the leopard keeps its body low and waits for the wildebeest herd to get closer. When the young stray from its mother for a few seconds, it suddenly lunges out of its hiding place. The entire herd panics and runs forward, while the young is held captive by the leopard in the dust. The young wildebeest struggles to break free, but the leopard holds on tight and maintains pressure until it weakens. After a short struggle, the leopard lies down, breathing heavily from exhaustion. The hunt was successful, but it also showed that each attack cost the predator a great deal of energy. Under the hot dust of the African grassland, the baby elephant stayed close to its herd as the group crossed a vast open field. Adult elephants have a strong protective instinct towards their young when they sense danger approaching. They also identify each member of the herd through their distinct calls. When the baby elephant fell behind, the lions began to approach from a distance. The lions crept low through the dry grass and then accelerated from behind the baby elephant. One jumped onto its back, while another pressed close from the side to create additional pressure. The baby elephant tried to keep up with the herd, but having to fend off multiple attacks simultaneously, it gradually lost strength. After several stumbles, the baby elephant slowed down and lost its balance on the open ground. The lions maintained pressure by coordinating their efforts, relentlessly pursuing and choosing the right moment. The hunt ended when the baby elephant fell and was unable to get up in time. This hunt demonstrates that despite their superior size, baby elephants are still vulnerable when separated from their herds. While baby elephants have the protection of their herds, even small distances can create significant risks. The lion pride's success stems from their coordination, endurance, and ability to maintain pressure over extended periods. Near the edge of the low bushes, the porcupine slowly searched for bark, roots, and tough plant parts to gnaw on. It usually chose a roundabout route to cover rather than going straight through open space. The thick spines on its back helped the porcupine maintain distance from nearby predators. As the two porcupines continued to move close together, the leopard began to close the distance from behind. The leopard advanced slowly, keeping its body low and waiting for one of the porcupines to drift apart. It lunged at the first porcupine, but had to retreat immediately when the spines touched its face and legs. Then, it shifted its focus to the second porcupine and continued searching for an opportunity to attack. The next approach was still unsuccessful for the leopard. The spines injured it and prevented it from sustaining the attack. The hunt was a complete failure, and the two porcupines survived thanks to their natural defenses. Along the rivers of South America, capybaras often submerge themselves in water for hours to cool and rest. They live in groups and usually observe the reactions of their peers before acting. When a few individuals leave the water to step onto the dense grass, the distance between them begins to widen. That small change creates an opportunity for the predator lurking near the edge of the forest. The jaguar approaches very slowly, its head lowered and its gaze fixed on the largest individual. It doesn't rush out as long as the entire group of capybaras remains close together. When one capybara strays from the group, the jaguar immediately accelerates, causing the entire pack to scatter in panic. The separated capybara tries to twist and escape for a few short seconds. The jaguar grips its shoulders and neck with great force, causing the capybara to gradually lose its ability to resist. The hunt ends when the jaguar drags its prey to the edge of the forest to prevent other species from competing for it. Along the dry grassland, the adult giraffe moved slowly, searching for fresh foliage. Its superior height allowed it to see far across the open area. But as the giraffe moved further away from the herd, lions began to appear around the area. The pride of lions advanced slowly from different directions, forcing the giraffe to change direction. A lioness suddenly accelerated and jumped onto its back. Meanwhile, the others continuously pressed against its legs, making it difficult for the giraffe to maintain its balance. The giraffe kicked and struggled to stay upright in the open field, but after many stumbles, it finally fell to the ground. When its large body could no longer stand, the pride of lions quickly ended the hunt. In the hot, dry weather of the African savanna, a herd of zebras began moving toward their familiar water source. The zebra at the front of the herd remembered the migration route it had used for years. As the herd approached the low-lying trees, its vigilance shifted to the ground ahead. Just above that area, a leopard had been lying still on a branch for a long time. It had chosen a high position to avoid detection by scent and movement. Waiting until the zebra stepped into the space below, the leopard suddenly lunged down to attack. The collision happened so quickly that the zebra lost its balance within the first few seconds. The leopard gripped the zebra's shoulders, then used its body weight to bring it to its knees. The hunt ended when the leopard's patience, ambush position, and timing paid off. On the edge of the African savanna, a pride of lions silently observes a herd of buffalo moving across the lowlands. Lions live in well-organized prides, each individual usually holding a specific position in the hunt. They know how to approach from multiple directions to separate their prey and make escape difficult. When a buffalo with a leg injury begins to fall behind, the hunting opportunity gradually opens up. From the low grass, a lioness advances slowly and waits for the buffalo to move away from the protective formation. When the distance is close enough, she lunges and grabs the buffalo's neck to disorient it. At the same time, another male lion approaches the calf, causing the herd to be divided in their reaction. The injured buffalo tries to resist, but its weak leg prevents it from maintaining the herd's speed. The separated calf also doesn't have time to return to safety. The hunt ends when both adult buffaloes are brought down in the same situation. This result shows that lions typically don't choose the strongest target in the pride. They prioritize weaker, injured, or misplaced prey to reduce the risk of attack. In nature, even a slight delay can completely change the course of the battle. Near a trail leading to a water source, a herd of African buffalo began moving in their familiar formation. Larger individuals held positions on the outer edges to protect the group in the center. During the prolonged dry season, the entire herd continued its journey toward water, driven by survival instincts. But when one buffalo slowed to a standstill, that gap quickly drew attention from the land ahead. From a gap near the path, an adult elephant began accelerating toward the buffalo that had separated from the herd. It used its tusks and body weight to relentlessly push the buffalo back. The buffalo tried to maintain its balance and find a way to avoid the attack, but the pressure from the front only increased. After being repeatedly knocked out of its original position, the buffalo gradually lost its ability to resist and fell to the ground. The elephant paused for a few brief seconds before slowly leaving the area. This encounter demonstrates how dangerous adult elephants can be when provoked. In nature, hyenas approach their targets strategically, closing the distance and waiting for the opportune moment to launch a decisive attack. However, not every approach results in an effective strike, and even a small misstep can derail the entire approach. These failed attack moments clearly demonstrate the limitations of instinct when timing and reflexes are out of sync. In open areas, hyenas maintain close-knit packs and constant communication. Each hyena weighs approximately 90 to 140 pounds, and their strong jaws and high endurance allow them to sustain pursuits for extended periods. Their group coordination allows them to split direction, apply pressure, and control the space around their target. These factors make hyenas one of the most effective predators. However, not every attack is successful. If the target changes direction in time or breaks the distance, the entire approach can be disrupted. When the advantage is not maintained, the hyena pack is forced to adjust or give up. In a dry, poorly sheltered environment, the warthog maintains constant vigilance and always remembers the nearest escape route. Weighing approximately 110 to 220 pounds, the warthog moves quickly and can accelerate to nearly 30 miles per hour in short bursts. Its curved tusks are used to maintain distance and prevent close-range attacks. Its quick reflexes prevent it from becoming passive when pressure builds. From multiple directions, the hyenas form a circle and close in on the warthog. Their attack directions are constantly changing, aiming to apply pressure and wear down the warthog's stamina. The distance is gradually reduced, but no stable point of contact is established. The warthog continuously turns and reacts at close range, preventing the hyenas from getting too close. The pressure persists, with both sides locked in a prolonged standoff without a clear resolution. As their stamina wanes, the hyenas are forced to temporarily retreat and maintain a distance, observing. Not every attack yields immediate results. This is a battle of physical strength, mental fortitude, and patience over a long period. When breaking the distance becomes impossible, retreat becomes a necessary decision. On the water's edge, the crocodile basks in the sun to regulate its temperature while maintaining a state of readiness. Its body is almost motionless, but its reflexes are constantly monitoring its surroundings. In the right environment, the crocodile doesn't need to move much to maintain its advantage. While the hyena moves normally and isn't on guard, the distance is shortened without realizing the danger. From underwater, the crocodile suddenly lunges forward, making immediate contact without any warning. The hyena's reaction time slows down as the situation changes too quickly. The hyena tries to twist and turn in resistance, but cannot maintain its position as it is pulled toward the water. The altered space causes a loss of control, and attempts to escape are ineffective. The confrontation ends quickly with the crocodile having a clear advantage in its environment. During their seasonal migration, wildebeests maintain precise navigation and constant observation. Their danger detection reflexes are very quick, allowing them to adjust their position at the first sign of change. When being followed, they can hold their position and assess the situation instead of fleeing immediately. This vigilance helps maintain a safe distance throughout the migration. Hyenas approach from behind, probing the wildebeest's reaction, not charging directly. The distance is gradually reduced to find weaknesses before launching an attack. Pressure increases as the direction of movement narrows, but the target remains in position and observes. The wildebeest suddenly advances, accelerating and using its horns to maintain close proximity. The approach is reversed. The hyena switches to defense and fails to maintain pressure. This moment of hesitation causes the hyena to completely lose the initiative. The confrontation ended when the hyena retreated, while the wildebeest maintained the initiative thanks to its quick reflexes and decision not to run away. In areas without hiding places, African wild dogs rely entirely on pack coordination to maintain their advantage. They maintain a stable formation and move in a unified rhythm throughout the approach. Pressure is continuously maintained by changing direction, not depending on a single close approach. This synchronization helps control the rhythm and forces the opponent to react constantly. Near food sources, hyenas observe and look for an opportune moment to approach. Wild dogs approach but maintain distance, creating psychological pressure and forcing the hyenas to divert attention. When a hyena breaks away, a gap immediately appears in the formation. Wild dogs encircle and increase their movement rhythm, constantly changing direction around the target. The hyenas turn to defend from multiple directions, but cannot maintain the counterattack rhythm. The pressure reverses. The hyenas lose control and are forced to retreat at a disadvantage. The gap that just appeared was enough to prevent the entire team from recovering. In such a confrontation, coordination and control of the tempo are crucial to the outcome. When the timing is unfavorable, the initial advantage cannot be maintained. A small misstep is enough to change the entire course of the game. In a dry, poorly sheltered environment, the honey badger maintains a highly flexible and unpredictable behavior. It doesn't maintain a fixed direction of movement and constantly turns to face a threat. When under pressure, its attack reflexes occur immediately, without hesitation. Its ability to withstand blows helps it maintain its position instead of fleeing. From multiple directions, the hyenas form a team and try to control the surrounding space. They attempt to approach step by step, but don't concentrate their force, as they haven't identified a clear weak point. The pressure gradually increases. but they fail to create a stable point of contact as the target always maintains its facing direction. The honey badger continuously turns and reacts at close range, disrupting all approaches. The hyenas lose their rhythm, expending energy without making any progress. Each attempt to approach is thwarted, preventing them from accumulating an advantage. The confrontation ended when the hyena was forced to retreat after several failed attempts to approach. In open spaces, elephants maintain very strong social bonds and remember the risks around them. Their intelligence helps them identify danger early and adjust their position as soon as it changes. When threatened, the herd quickly forms a protective circle and maintains distance from all approaching directions. Their coordinated abilities turn the formation into a living shield, minimizing contact points. The hyena pack splits into groups to approach, one group distracting and another attempting to get closer. Gaps appear when the baby elephants temporarily separate, creating brief opportunities for approach. Pressure builds rapidly, but the elephant group maintains its rhythm and blocks all approaching directions. The mother elephant immediately returns, applying strong pressure and restoring the protective formation. The hyenas lose their rhythm, fail to maintain distance, and are forced to retreat. The attack ended when the elephants' social bonds were restored and they gained complete control of the space. In their natural environment, lions maintain very clear territorial control behavior. An adult lion weighs approximately 300 to 420 pounds, possesses quick reflexes, and has the ability to handle situations at close range. Lions not only hunt, but also constantly monitor and protect their surrounding space. When an intruder is detected, the reaction occurs almost immediately, without preparation. At the edge of the area, the hyena pack begins to advance and narrow the distance cautiously. Intrusion into a dangerous zone creates a misstep from the very first step. The moment the distance is broken, the lions react quickly and exert pressure from multiple directions. The hyenas can no longer maintain a safe distance and are constantly being pressured. Their movement is disrupted, and they are no longer able to organize their formation effectively. A misstep in the initial approach renders the entire effort irreversible. The approach ends in a disadvantageous position as the hyena is forced to retreat under direct pressure. In territorial situations, the goal is not hunting, but control and deterrence. Lions maintain their advantage through quick reflexes and clear spatial pressure. When the initial timing is lost, the outcome is almost predetermined. These confrontations demonstrate that no predator holds an absolute advantage. Each species has its own way of reacting when pushed into a dangerous situation. When instinct meets unexpected reflexes, the outcome can change completely. In nature, victory always belongs to the one that adapts at the right time.